This is the plaintiff, Deb Thompson. She says she worked on the defendant's boat, switching out 2 non-working motors, replacing them with 2 working engines, and the guy is stiffing her. If that weren't bad enough, once the work was completed, the boat sat in her marina for 2 months. And when he came to retrieve it, he tried to sneak it off her property. What a landlubber. She's suing for $1,979.50, the amount owed for mechanical work and storage. This is the defendant, Greg Guardino. He says the plaintiff was one difficult lady to work with and basically ordered him to take his boat off her property and to leave. Now the crazy woman suing him for work she never did on the boat and for storage? No way. He owes her nothing and will prove it here and now. He's accused of not knowing his bow from his stern. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $200 for the towing of the boat.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff switched out 2 motors in the defendant's boat and didn't get paid. But the defendant says the plaintiff is nuts and even ordered him to remove the boat from her property. It's the case of get your motor running, then sue.
Okay, Deb Thompson and Larry Thompson of Whitey's Landing Incorporated?
Yes.
You are suing Greg and Judy Guardino. You have power of attorney?
Yes.
All right, for $1,979.50 in storage and other costs that you say you incurred as a result of him breaching a contract to have you fix his boat. Tell me what happened.
On July 4th, unbeknownst to us, Good Luck Point, which is another marina, showed up with Mr. Giordano's boat.
Without calling you?
Without calling us. My husband said he had met Mr. Giordano before. I had no idea who he was.
Okay.
He wanted us to put motors in his boat. My husband said he would do it when he had time. The boat was too big for us to do it on land. The boat would have to be in the water.
How big was the boat?
34 foot, I want to say.
And
34
what kind of boat was it?
A Chris Craft.
Okay.
If I'm nervous, our boatyard was destroyed in Sandy, so.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. It's all gone?
It's all gone.
Okay.
It's all gone. Anyway, later in the afternoon on July 4th, the boat came being towed in by a second boat. The boat that was towing got stuck on a sandbar and had to have U.S. boat come and take it off, leaving Giordano's boat on the sandbar. My husband went out and towed the boat in. Okay. Mr. Giordano.
What day does the boat come in?
July 4th.
Okay.
We didn't know the boat was coming.
How does somebody bring a boat to you and you don't know it's coming? I don't understand.
Well, we don't either.
But I mean, why was the boat being taken over there?
2 weeks before 4th of July, we had brought my other boat over there.
A different boat?
Let's say it's a Chris Craft. Let's name it as a Chris Craft. And I didn't bring it over there at that time. I asked Mr. Whitey, and I know Whitey for many years, I says, could you change the 2 motors? He says, no problem. And that's where we left off. So anyway, I asked him, when you want me to bring it in? So he discussed with me, he says, I don't know, he says, after the holiday, and when everything quiet down in the neighborhood. So I bring the boat over there, and to bring it in that week, I have it towed from my yard. I have a hauler.
So then you left your boat over at Whitey's.
I left the boat at Whitey's while he was towing.
In the water.
In the water.
Because you have no motors.
Right.
And then what job were they going to do that you wanted them to do?
They're going to change both motors for me.
Change them to what?
To another.
Were you supplying the motors or were they supplying the motors?
No, I already bought a set of motors at Good Luck Point.
And so you have Good Luck Point bring the boat?
No,
You have that other hauler bring the boat? You have him tow the boat? And then you have who brings the motors in the old junky boat?
Me. I parked the stuff out in the street on the trailer.
Which stuff?
The old boat. The old boat. I left it out in the street. So what happened is Mr. Whitey asked me, he says, I'm going to start working on your boat. So can you back the trailer up on my property so I could take the motors out and put them in your boat? I was more than glad to see him start working after 2 months have gone by and nothing has been done.
Wait, your boat was there for 2 months?
Oh, yeah. It was there for 2 months.
Why
And
was it there
nothing
for
was
2
done.
months?
He said he had other work before. So not to bug him and upset him and be mad at me, I just kept quiet. So meanwhile, my boat's been there for a distance of time, ain't been repaired, and now they want to charge me for storage. And I prefer. And
How long total was the boat there?
The boat had been there close to 3 months.
Okay,
Why-
so you accept the boat to repair it, and what happens?
The boat came in. My husband told him he was too busy. When I have time, I'll do the motors. In the interim, I had said to Mr. Giordano, I need a $1,000 deposit.
How much was the job going to cost?
Approximately between 4 and 5
1,000.
thousand. All right. He kept saying, all right, fine, no problem.
To do what? To put in? He was providing the motors to install those two
What?
motors. It was going to be that much.
He brought the old boat, the junk boat, did not come until September 8th. The junk boat came.
From
And it
4th of
was-
July to September 8th.
Okay, so
It
the
was
delay was him bringing the motors.
It was a half a
So
boat.
it's going to be quite
on a
challenging to
trailer.
switch motors out that haven't been there yet, that haven't
We
arrived.
don't have them.
Okay.
He took the motors out for Mr. Giordano, and I said, you've got to move the boat and the junk trailer. It looks terrible. It ended up, I threatened to call the cops if he didn't get rid of it.
Who's he?
In
Your
the
husband or Mr. Giordano?
Mr.
All right.
Giordano.
Okay.
In the interim, I'm saying, I need money, I need money, I need money. And he would say, you'll get your money, you'll get your money. In the meantime, he and his wife would come and park in the back. And she would sleep, in the van, which was fine. And he would come around and talk to the guys or hang out. Anytime I would approach him, he'd disappear. And he'd say, you're going to get your money. Well, obviously, we weren't going to get any money, much less, we weren't going to get 4 or 5, much less 1,000. So I told him to get out.
Told him to get his boat out
I
and
told him to get his boat out, get his motors out.
Okay.
We weren't doing the job.
Okay. Because you were having such trouble getting the deposit that you pretty much knew you'd do the job and not get
Right,
the
and
$400.
Motors from the other boat.
And had you already removed the motors from
No.
the other boat?
Yeah, I took them out and put them on the ground.
And then you're expecting him to pay the $1,000 right there?
Oh, I wanted money to go start working on doing the rest
But
of the work.
and did you ask him for it
Yes,
yourself?
I did.
Or you just leave the big guns for that?
No, I asked him to.
Okay. And what did he say to you? You'll get it?
Right now, he didn't have it. So I said, well, you don't have it.
So I have a question I'm sure your wife asked you, which is why did you even start doing anything without having the money?
But she asked me that all the time.
I know, because she's going to make sure that you are able to
Thank
retire
you, that we get
with some money in the
someday.
bank. So
Exactly.
it's yes, no rest for the weary, my dear. Okay, so
So there were arguments, and I said, get out of the boatyard. We don't want the job. We didn't want the job. We're not going to do the job. Get out.
okay.
At that point, and it was a Thursday, his friend offered me $500 on his credit card.
That's the same friend?
That friend. And
Okay.
I said, are you kidding me?
What happened here?
The agreement between me and Whitey, he was going to do the job. We talked about it. Can you do it? I said, you want a deposit? He says, no, don't worry about it.
Okay,
And
but
that's-
now
Cut
the
me a
money
break.
the money
then-
person's
hold
worried
on.
about it. So
Now-
and if you're
now-
going to pay anyway, why don't
hold
you
on.
just pay her?
Now got involved. His wife got involved. And this is after 2 months have gone by. Oh, we want money. So I says, she's on the phone. She goes, I need money for taxes. She says, I need money because I'm broke. I says, okay. I says,
So why don't you just pay it?
I said, at the end of the month, I says, I'll give you some money. Meanwhile, I paid my taxes that month because that month taxes are due.
Actually, really what's going on is this. You don't like that the little lady is telling you what to do, and you don't like the way he's disrespecting you, like somehow you're not part of this business.
I have a lot of men that don't like me, and that's
Exactly,
okay.
and especially in this business. Okay.
So, in a mom and pop business, who is generally the alpha dog, the husband or the wife?
The wife.
Why do you say?
I just think that they're the person that normally runs it or has it together or it's their idea. Like, I don't really feel like the pop's like, you know what we should do?
Really?
Have a business.
Really? What do you think?
I don't know, she's usually the woman that cooks. I guess it's kind of misogynistic to think that, but it's usually how it is in our culture, the woman.
So what? So you're saying the wife or the husband?
The wife.
Well, the wife, if the wife cooks and you're talking traditional, wouldn't it be the husband that runs the business?
Yeah, but I don't know.
You're a woman, so you want the woman to do it.
I guess.
I got your point. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
So now, what we do know is that When asked for a deposit, Mr. Guardino does not provide a deposit. You tell him, I don't want your business. And then now we have a lawsuit for the following. You're the one who tells him, I don't want your business. And you are suing now for $1,500 in storage, $200 for the motors. Tell me what that's about.
To take the motors out. It
Of
was
the junk boat.
out of the junk boat.
Okay. $150 for 6 days storage of the junk boat because it was there on your property and okay.
Everybody was complaining about it.
Okay, and then $129.50 in sales tax at
Right.
7%. Now
And
you
his
have a
friend had
counterclaim
told
against
me
her for
that.
$200 for the tow of a Chris Craft boat to get the motor replaced. And you want her to pay you the money that you had to pay Good Luck Point for the tow because it ended up being a waste since they wouldn't repair it.
Total waste. Boat
Right.
never got repaired.
Right.
Big runaround.
Okay, here's what I think. I think that this is very clearly a failure to arrive at a contract. Basically, you tow your boat there. You have Whitey telling you one thing. You have the motors getting there significantly later. According to you, that's because Whitey kept saying they're too busy. You claim that he tells you, yeah, don't worry about it. You won't have to pay us till you're ready to pay us. Nobody does business that way. She is the financial person at that place. She asked you for a deposit, and it was very simple. Pay the deposit. So here we are. You don't pay the deposit. They're not going to start working on it. I guess we're at a crossroads. Take your boat off. Why is it that you don't just walk away and you don't just walk away?
I want to walk away.
Yeah, I bet you do. And, and the problem is that you feel used because he was kind of using you for storage. But the bottom line is you can't create a contract where there was none. I can't turn around and call something a storage contract when it wasn't a storage contract. Okay? And I believe this. Whitey's telling him, yeah, don't worry about it right now, about the deposit. And the first time that someone talks about a deposit, it's you. And then it's, what we're talking about is not 2 months passing, but, modicum of days passing. And then he says, well, I don't have the money for the deposit. Okay, take your boat out of here. It's just you guys couldn't do business together. Well, that doesn't mean you get to collect $2,000 anyway, and that doesn't mean you get to collect $200 anyway. What happens is you both go your separate ways. Good luck, folks.
And so the judge rules on the case, step on out here, that there was no deal and there is no deal.
Well,
Therefore, nothing and nothing.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
well, what are you going to do,
What are you going to do, Whitey?
You're in bear, that's all.
How you doing after the hurricane?
It's coming back slowly. It's going to take a long time.
Yeah. Well,
It's heartbreaking.
tell us about it. Yeah. So many people. Well, we wish you the best,
Well, we have our house. We have each other.
All right.
That counts.
All right. Good luck. Good luck. All right. Come on in here. There was no deal. There is no deal. Step in here. Turn the other way. Tell me what's your reaction to the outcome.
Just a waste of time.
Why is that?
Whitey's been a long-term friend, and if the woman had never stepped in and
She was the problem as far as you're concerned, right?
Oh, he even told me, he says, I already did the job for you, but I live with her, and I can't do nothing because she told me not to do it.
Harvey?
Bottom line here is that contracts need specific terms. They need the price, the dates of completion, they need the scope of the work. If you don't have the essentials, it's not enforceable. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.